Dominicana. El número 1, Jessy Hernández. 2, María Marte. 4, Lely Zapata. 5, Joana Morton. 6, Jennifer Estrella. 7, Génesis Evangelista. 8, Charlene Frías. 9, Marlene Cáceres. 10, Nicole Guerrero. 12, Flor Jones. 13, Yoseli Reynoso. 15, Suheiri Monza. Coach, Juana Teresa Durán Vallejo. Asistentes, Miguel Ángel Antonio Reyes Severino, Eudis Reynoso. We continue with Team Cuba. Ahora presentamos al equipo de Cuba. La número 0, Anilegna Colas. 2, Liz Davy Martínez. 9, Yamara Margo. 10, Anay García. 15, Suchitel Ávila. 17, Isabela Jourdain. 20, Lenigi Becker. 21, Claudia Calvo. 55, Dairis Darnell. 56, capitana del equipo Anislady Galindo. 80, Enriqueta Neira. Y 83, Lisandra Vargas. Coach, Margarito Pedroso Peláez. Please, we will stand up to the national anthems, and we start with the Dominican Republic national anthems. Favor de ponerse de pie para escuchar los himnos nacionales, comenzando con el himno de la República Dominicana. National Anthems. Continuamos con el himno nacional de Cuba.
Rico. It was a close game in that one. Then they got tired in the end. They started off well against Canada yesterday. Then they got tired in the end. Today, they can't get tired against the Dominican Republic.
This is a team that moved the ball very well. It's a strong team, good post moves, always bumping, always hitting. Martinez, Amargo, Avila, Calvo, and Galindo, their main players. As I said, Galindo have been their constant. This is a very difficult player to defend because she can score from anywhere. Amargo needs to be effective today in both ends. Calvo and Avila in the paint will be very important as well. And Martinez needs to make good decisions against this Dominican team that are going to come and play very, very hard defense. It's going to be a very physical game. That we can say. These two teams, this is a rivalry of the Caribbean. These two teams knows each other. You know, they know how they play, and it's a must-win game for both.
Certainly is. Group A standings, you saw them off the top, but we'll refresh your memory. Canada right now in front with 4 points. They are 2-0 here in San Juan. They have the big game this evening against the hosts, Puerto Rico. Dominican Republic picked up their first win in their first game yesterday, beating Mexico. Cuba 0-2, but 2 wins in their final 2 games could put them in a perfect position to at least get the second spot in Group A. The top 2 spots move on to the semifinals. Group A right now led by Canada. On the other side, Group B led by the United States. We just saw them this morning in a great win against Colombia. There we see the legendary Teresa Duran. Let's listen into her huddle. Coach Duran was quite loose with her bunch. They are feeling good. She was dancing in front of the cameras during the introductions. Cuba on the other end, a little bit more tense. They know this is a must-win game for them, but Dominican Republic have, as you said, never beaten Cuba at this stage.
No, they have never beat them. They both spoke about communication, verbal communication, how important it is on defense. They also, the Cuba coach also said to be very aggressive in the passing lane.
Gina Cross getting set to toss the ball up, get things underway. FIBA Women's AmeriCup here from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Cuba taking on the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic in the row blue, Cuba in the home white. Carlin Gay alongside Natalia Melendez on the call. A turnover early on for Cuba. That's something they did well to start the game with against Canada. They were able to turn them over a bit. Now they'll have to cash in on those turnovers. Deep 3 there by Galindo is short, and it goes out of bounds. Will go the other way. Galindo has been able to score in the 2 games that Cuba has played, but she's definitely going to need help from Avila, Martinez, and Amargo going forward against the Dominican Republic. Zapata, driving baseline, pulls up, left it short, follows her own. Morton, back to Zapata. Spacing a little bit awry here for the DR as Morton drives in, can't get it to go. And Galindo ahead to Amargo. Great pass by Galindo, and Amargo with the first 2 of the game.
On the fast break.
Positive sign for Cuba if they're able to get a lot of opportunities in the open floor. Morton's shot not there, and again, Cuba looks to run. Amargo, Avila for 3. That's too strong. And Zapata pulls down the rebound. Zapata had 20 big points in the win over Mexico. on sack. Morton will tee up the three. Indeed.
Avila was trying to double on the low post, and it seems like they're going to continue doing that. For that, it's very important that the perimeter players from Dominican Republic start hitting early.
Keep our eye on that as the game goes along. Galindo on a strong drive, can't get it to go. Calvo down low, jump ball is called as Morton tied her up. The ball will stay on this end. Possession error pointing in favor of Cuba. Job there by Morton. Here's Galindo looking ahead. Nice pass to get in front of Margot. 5 on the shot clock for Cuba. They're gonna have to work quickly here. Martinez in the lane. Floater's there. Martinez didn't provide much offense in the first 2 games. She's only averaging a point per game the first 2. Morton. Estrella for 3. That's off the back iron. And they say last touched by the DR. Expecting a physical encounter between these 2 teams. They like to use their bodies. Avila. Martinez. Offensive foul as Avila a little bit too aggressive on that screen. And Monsac was trying to get around it. Here you see the replay.
Oh, yes.
That was the forearm shiver. 4-3 the score, Cuba in front. Dominican trying to get the lead for the first time here tonight. Angelista's 3 is not there.
She's been having open looks, not been able to score yet.
It's her second miss from 3-point range. Martinez. Sack hit the deck. It's Elise Avila open for 3. She can't hit. And Reynoso, who had a big game in game 1, 11 points, 10 rebounds, pulls down her first rebound here tonight. Here's Reynoso on the ball now. Waits for a Monsac screen. Reynoso in the middle, flashing. Double teamed, it doesn't matter. She got her shot off, but couldn't convert. Martinez drills back the other way. Margot, floater, got it. Margot showed up against Canada. She's averaging 16 points in the tournament.
She's their second voice. Her and Galindo has been the constant players, the offensive players.
Martinez picks up her first personal foul. Put her hand up right away, acknowledging the foul there. And then will allow Morton to go to the line for 2 shots. It's the first. There is the legendary Teresa Duran. Had a chance to speak to her after the opening day win. She was happy with the performance, but wanted to continue on what her team did against Mexico, against a team they have never beaten here. She also said you did a pretty good job of guarding her back in the day.
I tried to do my best, but she was amazing.
Margot tried to save it, and Dominican Republic comes away with it. Here's Morton. She's looking for a shot tonight. That one doesn't fall. Margot pushed the other way. Hesitating, Colas into the game for the first time now for Cuba. Calvo spinning, almost traveled, but Margot launches a 3 and knocks it down.
She only needs a little bit of space, and she'll shoot the ball. Her percentage are high. Right now, she's 2 of 2.
Coming into this game, she's shooting 42% from the field.
Not bad.
See the assist totals on your screen there. Cuba really moving the rock. What a move by Morton. Can't get the finish. Galindo is fouled in the open floor by Estrella. Just Estrella's first. Genesis Evangelista will check in for Estrella as we take a look at that last three by Amargo. Getting her buckets in a variety of ways is Amargo. Inside and outside, here she is in the mid-range. Calvo. Skying through the lane. Nice move there by Calvo.
We've not been able to see Calvo's game in the first two games, but I was expecting her to have a big game today. They need her.
Definitely do. She's only been averaging 4.5 points coming into this game. Been a lot of size going the other way. Now she matches up well with the Dominican Republic. Once Sack gets called for a travel. And the DR seems a little bit disjointed offensively.
They are.
Teresa Duran agrees. That's why she takes the timeout here. 11-4, Cuba in front early on in the game.
Está atacando muy bien, que no va, ¿oíste? Está atacando muy bien.
En la ofensiva con mucha precisión. Tenemos esquema para hacerlo, demárquense bien. Vamos a hacer, denle rotación a la pelota, lléguela hasta donde haya que llegarla. Estamos individual. No podemos seguir dejando esos tiros de tres.
El coche, o sea, arrastrar la defensa, los cortes sucesivos. Es un principio contra la zona. Inversión del balón, eso es otro principio de la zona. Tenemos que apuntar el aro. A Milena, entrate en un segundo, cogiste que ir adentro. Mismo si el partido está fría, vamos a trabajar. Bien.
You laughed. What was funny about that huddle from Coach Pedroso?
the guy, the coach from Cuba, the assistant coach, he said, you just got into the game and you shot the ball. Take it easy. Why are you so anxious? Let the shot come to you. Take it easy. But just the accent he used. It's a beautiful accent. Cuba has a beautiful accent. On the other hand, Dominican Republic's, you know, the coach is saying we have a system, but we got to cut, we got to move.
Right now, the DER only 1 of 9 from the field. Cuba shooting 50% from the field. That's the reason for the scoreline. Calvo. Almost lost the handle there. Avila. She'll have to put it up, but she commits an offensive foul instead.
It's the second one, like that, in the same side of the court.
So 13 fouls, second one, as you mentioned, for Avila, and she'll have to leave the game in favor of Naira. Evangelista driving in, another miss for the DR, and Naira pulls down the rebound. Here's Colas. Wants a screen from Calvo. Margot pulling up again. In and out. Naira crashing in for that rebound opportunity, but Zapata comes the other way. Pushing down the lane. That was a rush shot. And it was last touch by the DR. Will go the other way.
Unnecessary shot as well. Just got there, you know, the ball, move it a little bit more. They are pressing.
Trying to change up the momentum of this game right now. Galindo. Colas for 2. Got it. Cuba, good ball movement. And they're finding open looks right now offensively. 13-4 the score. One sack. Zapata. One sack on screen and roll. She drives inside and finally breaks the ice. for the DR.
That was a very simple move. It was a pick and roll in the left side of the court, but it worked. They need to start cutting to the paint.
There's Colas. A foul away from the basketball. One sack with the hole. That's her first. It's the second team foul for the DR here in the first quarter. Calvo, good look. A little too tall for Margot to pull down. Evangelista now galloping the other way. Sack trying to grab down low. Good job by Nera, forcing her to repost constantly and finally gets her to pick up her dribble. That's great defense. Evangelista driving inside. Morton for three. Indeed.
Good attack, better pass, and done with the basketball. DR hasn't looked bad when they move the ball, and when they move with the ball.
Galindo, nice move inside. She gets her own. 3 jerseys around her, can't finish the second opportunity. And here's Morton, who's hot, has 7 of DR's 9 points. 1 sec. Morton wants it back. She gets it back. Looking to attack Colas in the paint. Morton right to the rim, and she's going to the line with an intentional foul. Called right away.
She's stronger than Colas, so she knows if they are playing 1-to-1 in one side of the court by themselves, she's going to attack her. She's going to try to post her. That was a hard foul.
Right call by the referee. Silva there. As there really was no basketball play made, it was just a foul to stop the play. And Morton goes to the line for 2 shots and the ball. After starting off sluggishly, Morton has put DR on her back and gotten them back into this game. They now have a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3 on this possession. Garcia. Check that. Lissandra Vargas checks into the game. Number 83 in white for Cuba. Galindo will sit. 14 on the clock for the DR to work with. Warren's been feeling it. Vargas going to try to slow her down. Zapata. Step back. Jump shot. Got it. Just like that, it's a tie game. Margot travels. Another turnover here for Cuba. Since the timeout, it's been a 9-0 run. As we see Zapata pulling up for the last 2 there. Zapata almost traveled. Just did keep her pivot. And then Colas picks up her second foul on Evangelista. And that's going to put Evangelista at the foul line, seeing as Cuba is now in a penalty.
Evangelista's first step is very explosive. She usually leaves the defense behind, and she's taking advantage of that.
Tornell, number 55 in white, checks in for Cuba. Evangelista knocks down the first free throw. There you see Morton and Coach Duran talking some strategy here with a minute to play in the first.
I think they're going to continue pressing, now full court.
10-0 run right now for the Dominican, and they're looking to pour it on even more. Morton hesitating. Nice move inside. Joanna Morton putting on a show. The pressure's still there. Another steal among sack this time as Morton pulls it back out. Zapata turns the corner, floats in the lane. Now it's partially blocked by Tornell. And also tried to save it. Naira finds Tornell, now Margot in the open court, and she turns it over to Monsac. Monsac and Morton running together. Morton up fake, and she'll go to the line. Great energy and response after the timeout by the Dominican Republic.
That press is working. for DR. Cuba has not found a way to break it. And Morton, it's been great this morning. She already has 11 of the 16 points that Dominican Republic have.
Zapata goes to the bench. So does Monsac. Jones will check in. And Cáceres will check in as well for the DR. 2 shots coming up for Morton from the free throw line. It's been all her. She now has 12 points and has really led the charge on this run. Count the basket as Cuba entered the lane early. Timeout for Cuba. Coach Pedroso wants to talk it over. His team on the wrong end of a 14-0 run at the moment.
Y esta coge, sencillo. Claro, ¿qué tenemos que hacer con lo que hicimos ahora? Leer la defensa. No podemos precipitarnos con él.
Ahora, si la cruzan, sí. Si no, tú te mantienes. La subieron, déjala que ella vuelva. La pasaron, vienen. Es una sola. Cortamos la pelota. Uno fue
Take a look at some highlights from the run that the Dominican Republic are on, a 14-0 run. What was said in the Cuba huddle?
Cuba needs to read the defense. On the other hand, Dominican Republic, it's going to press. And then after that, they're going to zone.
Evangelista will lead that press. They're looking for a trap and half. Let's see if it comes. It's there. Right on the line, Tournell finally finds Margot. Cuba beats the press that time. And Margot. Vargas to the shoot for a Margot. Got it off in time. It won't go. Well, after being down 13-4, Dominican Republic have taken an 18-13 lead into the first quarter break over Cuba. Reminder, you can follow us on social media at FIBA on all social media platforms. There is the first quarter statistics. Dominican Republic struggled inside the arc. They started hitting shots from beyond the arc. They got to the free throw line, got back into this game on a 14-0 run, and it was really their defense that tightened up.
This Cuba team, we've seen throughout the tournament that they are very Galindo dependent. And so far, she have not scored. She played 8 minutes, and she did not score. So they need to find a way to get her into the offense. But besides that, they are showing trouble trying to break that press that Dominican Republic is showing. Not a lot of patience there. 7 turnovers. And from those 7 turnovers, Cuba have 8 points. Dominican Republic have 8 points. So everything after that timeout, as you said, Dominican Republic show better defense, and now with Monsac, they are ahead 18-13. Monsac have
It's Morton that's been
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dominating.
Yes. Yeah. Morton have 13 points, 13 of the 18.
We saw her last 2 there on the floater inside. So Morton's still on the floor for the Dominican Republic. They've gone a little bit to their bench now. She's the only starter. You see Jones, the youngster. Cuba now going back to their starters. Galindo back on the floor with Martinez, Avila, Amargo and Calvo. Here we go for the second quarter. Dominican Republic and Cuba. We are up 5 after the first. Evangelista, good stop and go, and gets the layup. Good pass. Martinez can't finish. She got her own, thought she got fouled on the second attempt. Play on, says the referees. Here's Morton. Aceres, her shot is not there, and Martinez sticks a fork in it and will dribble the other way. Galindo. Waiting for a Calvo screen. Galindo, good spin inside, the floater. Oh. She can flat out score. That's her first 2. Amargo got her hand in the passing lane, comes up with the steal. Amargo now spinning her way into the lane. That shot no good. Evangelista will push the other way. A team of 5. No one stops the basketball, so she gets it easy too.
You know, nothing is working in defense for, you know, in offense for Cuba. They're having problems breaking that press, but
Galindo over to Amargo, driving in. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
I was going to say that Cuba has been having problems in this tournament with the defense communication. They are not communicating. And that's something the coach, that was the first thing he said right before the game. We need to communicate in defense.
Cáceres picks up her first personal foul as Amargo goes to the line now. Amargo misses her first free throw. It's the first free throw attempts here for Cuba in the game. Well, we've seen this from Cuba now for the 3rd straight game. They come out playing very well.
Yeah.
And then that energy and intensity sort of drops off, and they allow their team to come back into the game. Now we see some pressure. Hopefully that changes things for Cuba defensively.
2-2-1 press.
It's broken by the Dominican Republic, and Morton will now look to run a set. Cuba in the zone. Morton, Evangelista, traveled. The defense there by Cuba that time showing something different.
She knows. And she accepted. She raised the hand. I'm guilty.
It's rare that a player does that, isn't it? Martinez looking for help, finds it in Galindo. Galindo fakes the spin this time, gives it to Avila. Avila will tee up a 3. No good. Calvo on the offensive glass. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Good hustle there by Calvo.
A lot of substitutions today from this Dominican Republic team. When you are pressing from the beginning of the game and you plan to do so throughout the whole game, you need fresh legs. You'll see a lot of subs.
That's the one thing that Cuba doesn't have is the depth. As Calvo missed everything there. She knew it as soon as it left her hand that it was going off. See how she makes her adjustment this time. Can't get that one to go either, and Zapata comes down with the rebound. Let's see there from that camera angle. Cuba in the zone. Frias. Evangelista. Driving inside the floater. In and out. Avila pulls down the rebound. There's Galindo. Margo for 3. Got it. Boy, did Cuba need that.
What a great shooter she is. 2 of 2 from the 3-point line. She have 11.
Back to a 2-3 zone for Cuba. They are down 3. Alvo comes up with a steal. Zapata takes it right back. And now Zapata will tee up a three. Indeed. She's a good shooter as well. That's her first three.
All wrist.
There's Galindo looking to drive on Zapata. Galindo kicks it. Martinez traveled. That last whistle allowed Reynoso to come back into the game. She was quiet in the first quarter. Zapata wasn't. Loud three-pointer there on that shot. Back to a 6-point lead for the DR. Frias is three, not there. Zapata was all alone for the rebound, but she tapped it to Avila. And here comes Cuba the other way. Coach Pereroso wants them to run. Margot driving in. Nice play. Margot now with 13. You see the points in the paint right now favoring Cuba. The ball movement this time from the Dominican Republic. Frias launches a three. Can't get it to go. A good hustle there by Avila getting the defensive board for Cuba. Galindo with the crossover. The look away pass to Martinez. She can't hit, and Calvo was being held underneath.
There's a big fight there in between Calvo and Monsac. A fight in a good sense. You know, they are playing really hard.
Frias will sit with the two fouls that will allow Henderson to check in as we take a look at Margot dancing down the lane. There's Hernandez. Margot again driving. Blocked by Hernandez. Morton. Reynoso driving in and lays it up off the glass. Our first two of the night. Defense turning into offense there for the Dominican Republic. Galindo for three. No good. Zapata tapped it right to Margot, who floats in. Her shot not there. And Monsac pushing the other way. Hernandez. Reynoso. Morton is open. She drives inside, uses the glass nicely.
Defense comes off balance. She attacks the lane, the help from the opposite side, too late. And a basket for Morton.
Galindo took contact, but couldn't finish. Avila is blocked by Reynoso. Monsac trying to get it ahead to Hernandez. It's a turnover, which will lead to a Martinez three. Indeed.
Martinez has been trying to get her offense going. This basket should help. She have 5.
And it's a 5-point game. See the 3-point percentages on your screen there. Here's Morton, Reynoso. She'll put it on the deck. Double team comes by Avila. 3 to shoot for Morton. Tosses it up off the glass. No good. Shot clock violation. Cuba wanted to continue play there as they
like nothing happened.
Fast break.
We didn't hear it.
Sub coming in now for Cuba. That's number 83, Sandra Vargas. Cuba has done a good job of now finding their rhythm again. It's time to close the quarter the right way, though. Down 5. Trying to take a positive stance in this moment. Avila on Jones. Driving in. Avila. Oh, good. Hit on the doorstep. Reynoso. Nice pass inside to Jones. She was left alone, but she couldn't convert. Here's Galindo with her head up the other way. Sees an opening, drives inside and dishes it nicely to Calvo for 2.
With a better rhythm now, Cuba.
Morton traveled. Jordan checks into the game for Cuba as we take a look at that last replay and a gorgeous dish to Calvo from Galindo. Galindo hasn't scored, but she's created some offense for her teammates today. Margot left alone for 3. Indeed! Ties it up at 29. 16 points, 3 for 3 from three-point range for Margot.
Dream of a game. Excellent.
Morton slicing it. Nice pass to Jones. Vargas now Margot. Jordan sets a good screen. Avila looking for help. She finds it in Galindo. Galindo. Henderson hits the floor. Galindo will toss it up at the shot clock. Expires. Did not hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation. Subs in for the Dominican Republic.
They were late shooting the ball, but now if you see Cuba offense, they have better spacing. Everybody's moving. The ball is going around. They are looking better in the offense.
Cáceres and Evangelista back into the game for the DR. Zapata. Three-two zone being applied by Cuba at the moment. 5 to shoot. Hernandez in the corner for 3, in and out. Reynoso got her hand on it. It stays on this side, says the referee.
Reynoso, when she doesn't grab the rebound, she at least touch it. She's very active.
Here she is.
It's long.
Was the right call. It looked like from that angle. Vargas, good active hands coming away with the steal. Galindo ahead to Margot. Avila driving in. She was stripped by Hernandez. Galindo finds Jordan. Plenty of time. Jordan, nice move. Couldn't finish there. Gets her own. This time with the up and under. Oh, Reynoso rejects that shot. What a block by Reynoso.
This Reynoso-Jordan match is fun to watch.
Here it is. Reynoso says,
Not here.
Little mean mug at the end of that one as well. Nader back into the game for Cuba, and so is Monsac for the Dominican Republic. An offensive foul is called on Nader as Margot finds herself wide open. Minute 5 here to play in the first half, and what's been a good game so far. Great pace to it. Hernandez. Zapata. Evangelista. Cáceres sets for Evangelista. Driving down the lane. The floater. Can't get it to go. And Nader did a good job of boxing out and let that ball roll out of bounds. Galindo could do it all. She's playing point guard now, with Martinez on the bench. Avila for 3. Can't get it to go. Monsac pulls down the rebound. Evangelista will run the other way. 3-on-2 opportunity here for the Dominican Republic. Good defense there by Galindo. Avila. And Margot from the corner.
Oh.
Indeed.
Avila had the space, but she knew her friend, Miss Amargo, is hot. So
Red
we must
hot.
give the ball to her.
4 of 4 from three-point range. Dominican could hold for the last shot. Evangelista dancing with it, tried to fire it inside to Monsac. It's going the other way with 2.1 to play in the half. Galindo won't take a shot before the buzzer expires. And that's how we'll end the first half. A good one here. 1-point game in the rivalry game. Cuba up 32-31 over the Dominican Republic. Well, Cuba got out to an early start. They allowed a 14-0 run. And it seemed as though the Dominican Republic were going to take over, but Cuba battled back in that second quarter and enjoy a 1-point lead heading into the break.
And it's good to see Cuba get back to the game and not, putting their head down, because that's something we've seen in the games before. They know they are capable of beating this DR team. They have 11 points in the fast break. The rebounds, they are winning the rebounds 24-14, but we must mention that from those 24 rebounds, 10 are offensive rebounds. They had 10-second opportunities. Amargo it's the start right now of the game. In the other hand, the Dominican Republic, they are laying a lot on Morton. Evangelista is doing her job. They are looking good when they are pressing. Well, once they get to the zone, they gotta work a little bit more on those rotations, especially trying to get to Amargo. And then if they miss, after they miss, they gotta go for that rebound.
There you see Amargo, you just talked about her. She has had a big first half for Cuba, leading the way with 19 points, shooting 54% from the field. But that woman right there, Morton, kept the Dominican Republic in it in the first quarter. She has 15 points of her own, shooting 50% from the field, but we didn't hear much from her in that second quarter. Let's see if she steps it back up in the second half. We'll leave you with the highlights for now and be back with more here from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Cuba enjoying a 1-point lead over the Dominican Republic at the half. Castro for three. And a foul! Big time shot. Palacio picks up the rebound. Martinez all the way. What a pass! Oh, and the foul! That was spectacular. Langlois. Bench counting down for her. Good. Oh, behind the back, step back. That was pretty.
That was close to moving. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
To the Barba. Probing blocked inside. The Sousa says no. Zach picked up her dribble. Look for Morton inside. She's spinning. Oh, what a pass! And Reynoso with the finish. Or just look away feed by Morton. Back we are here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're getting set for the second half, but first let's listen into the huddle for the Dominican Republic, who are down 1 to Cuba at the half. We tried to eavesdrop in on the huddles. They ended before we got there, so we didn't get much. But what we got in the first half was a good competitive matchup, and finally a game where both teams are shooting well from the field.
Yes, as we expected, it was going to be a close game. I think it will be a close game until the end. The adjustments in both areas, I'm sure they have done them. So let's see what this third quarter brings in this game.
That referee, Gina Cross, gets us underway here as Cuba inbounds. Cuba in the white uniforms. Dominican Republic in the road blue. Third quarter action here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2019 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Carlin Gay alongside Natalia Melendez. Cuba started the game off on the right foot. They were up 13-4. Dominican battled back with a 14-0 run. And then Cuba started getting it going offensively to take a 1-point lead to head into the half-time break. And now we say Reynoso will go to the line after this foul by Calvo.
Good pass. Marte attacked the gap, found Reynoso.
She had a double-double in the first game against Mexico. Her first free throw's not there. The legendary Teresa Duran watching on. She's a good young talent in Reynoso right now, 23 years old. As I mentioned, it was 11 points, 10 rebounds in the win against Mexico. She gets the roll on the second free throw to tie the game back up at 32. Galindo, who didn't score much in the first half, but was able to create offense for others. A foul called there on, and it looks like number 2, Marte. That's her first. Marte playing for the first time in this game, and she's going to try and check Galindo and slow her down a little bit. Avila driving the right pass, Monsac, tough layup, but can't get it to go, and Marte with the rebound. It's physical inside. Morton, 15 points in that first half. Monsac, the defense there by Avila. She got a hand on that ball. A pass a little too far for Amargo. Galindo knew it right away.
Good intention. That's Cuba's 12th turnover.
Sit back in a 2-3 zone does Cuba, and that's really changed the momentum of the game. When they went to the zone, the Dominican Republic has had trouble scoring since. Reynoso from the foul line, got it. She has all 3 points for the Dominican Republic here in the third quarter.
It's perfect ball movement. Everybody feel the spot.
Margot driving inside, tough shot, can't get it to go. Zapata pulls it down. There's Monsac. Battling. Nice move in the lane. So Lady Monsac, if we can see more out of her in the post like that, it's going to cause Cuba a lot of trouble. Martinez goes behind the back. Now she looks to go inside to Calvo. Falling away. It's the side of the backboard. And Morton turns around and goes the other way. Zapata. Monsac feeling good about herself. Launches a three and knocks it down. Good start to the third quarter for the DR. 8-0 run after that three by Monsac. Chest bumps and high fives all around. Timeout on the floor. 39-32. Dominican in front.
La en medio es la que se para en la punta de la botella. Y el resto se cae la ataque se cae de abajo. ¿Ok? Vamos, muchachos, vamos a mira, ya.
Es personal, cada cual.
Entonces, yo creo, miren esto. Si Monsac sigue recibiendo el balón, Monsac, como yo le dije, tú la llevas hasta aquí. Cuando le hagas así, la haces pausa. Y tú, si hay ayuda, tú sabes que te tienes que mover. No también, vamos a
We see Reynoso, who got things going for the Dominican Republic early, and then the gorgeous move by Monsac here in the paint. And that led to a three-point shot that she knocked down before the timeout. Here it is. And just like that, an 8-0 run that was set in the huddle for Cuba.
There's not too much technical things in Cuba bench that just said this is personal. This is personal to us. You know our rivalry. You know, let's play.
See if that energizes their team on the floor. Galindo, she's the leader of this team. Comes out firing, can't hit there. Marte pulls down the rebound, and look at her hustle back up the floor, try and create some early offense. Monsac really wants the ball here. She's gonna come out and get it. Reynoso was cutting, but she was held. She touched it last, so it'll go the other way. It's been a physical kind of game.
It's been.
Expect that out of these two teams. As you mentioned, it is a rivalry game. Last huddle, evidence of that. You don't often hear that in a basketball game. It's personal. That's what you get here at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. The FIBA AmeriCup, I should say. Foul, driving inside. Still got China on the brain. Just left there.
Both of these teams have been participating in the FIBA Americas Championship since 1989. Both of them started in the same year. And from 1989 until today, Cuba have beaten Dominican Republic in each of the tournaments. So for them, it's an important game.
Margot knocks down the first free throw. Coach Perdoso walking the sidelines, pacing. Trying to find ways to motivate his team to keep that winning streak alive against the Dominican Republic. Well, free throws good there for Margot. That's the first 2 points in the quarter for Cuba, and they go to the press now. Morton. Zapata. Monsac. Travel.
Reynoso is saying, suéltamela. Suéltamela means like, pass me the ball, man. I was here. Don't think about it twice. Just give it to me. She was open.
Good to see the youngster on the team being vocal. Reynoso's only 23 years old. Talking to Monsac, who's 38. Nice move in the lane. Galindo, she does it all offensively.
Yeah, she had 4 today. She's been kind of quiet. But, you know, it's important for Dominican Republic to keep it that way. She can explode at any moment, and that will be a problem for them.
Here's Reynoso. Nice pass inside to Monsac. Both of them smile as they high-five back down the court. Monsac with 9. 7 of them coming in this third quarter. Margot. Galindo coming on the curl. Vargas open for 3. Can't get it to go. Calvo and Avila both tapping it, but they couldn't come up with the rebound. And Morton drives the other way. Nice attempt, but unable to get it over the hands. And then Margot rejecting Monsac right at the rim. The defense there by Cuba. Lindo driving, tough move. Oh, as you said, she could explode at any moment. We saw why right there.
She's gonna start pushing, you know, the offense for her because she knows she needs to get in rhythm.
Morton, watched by Vargas. Zapata for 3. Got it. She's always right on time with a 3-pointer. And Zapata now with 8 points. Galindo looks a little bit tired. Let's see if someone helps her out offensively here on this possession. She's gonna go one-on-one with Morton. Margot has been terrific this afternoon. You're stepping her way in, can't get it to go. Calvo, count it. And the foul. She's throwing her hands up saying, hey, it's gonna fall, it's gonna fall. Second foul for Suheidi Monsac. Good tap by Calvo, and here we see last 3 by Zapata.
Calvo have not been able to make free throws. She had 3 attempts. And as a big player, you will go to the free throw line a lot.
JC Hernandez checking into the game. Calvo struggling from the free throw line right now. She's going to get one more attempt as the Dominican Republic entered early. Calvo still can't convert from the line. Lead still in favor of the DR. 4-point lead. Evangelista floater. That's pretty. Not the first time we've seen that here in Puerto Rico. Probably won't be the last. Galindo tried to find Calvo. Should have probably took the shot there. Reynoso. Hernandez. Reynoso wants it in the post. Morton driving in. Monsac wide open for 3. Can't get it to go, and Galindo pulls it down. 4 players run with her. Galindo, nice feed. Finding Avila.
They need to find a way to get Avila involved in the offense. She's not only a good long shot shooter, but she can also, shoot from very close to the basket. So they need to attack and start looking for her.
Cuba likes to play fast. They have 16 fast break points to 4 from the Dominican Republic. Monsac. Morton, Evangelista for 3. Got it as the shot clock expires. And she's starting to feel it now with 10 points.
Dominican Republic is shooting from 6 for 12, 50%. From the 3-point line. That's good.
Avila rushed the shot, but she followed her own miss. Galindo puts it on the deck, driving inside, counting, and the foul. Oh, Galindo with 8 points now, all coming here in the third quarter.
She's strong. She left Morton behind. She used her shoulder. She was able to finish.
Galindo completes the three-point play, keeping her team within striking distance and allows Cuba to set up a trapping press. Martinez on the floor now for Cuba, number 2 in white. Frias just checked in for the Dominican Republic. Reynoso blocked by Galindo. And a technical foul called on the Dominican Republic bench. Two shots for Margot, who's going to take them, or one shot, sorry, for Margot, who's going to take it. And it will be Cuba basketball. Free throw is good.
And that's the girl you want in the free throw line, Amargo.
Teresa Duran now slapping her hands to say, let's go. Well, this is the reason why DR picked up the technical foul. They thought that was a foul. It wasn't. It was a play on. Quickly after that, referee Silva blew the whistle for the tech. Margot tees up a three again. She missed the first, but not the second. And just like that, we're tied at 49.
She have 25. She's perfect from the three-point line. 5-5.
Inverted whistle, so we'll resume play now. Cuba picking up full court. DR breaks the press. Evangelista gets fouled on the way in. She's going to go to the line for 2. Monsac trying to fire up her unit. The leader of the team, oldest player on the team, 38 years old. As you said, this means a lot to the Dominican Republic, trying to beat Cuba for the first time at this level. And Evangelista misses the free throw. She played in those games against Cuba, and she couldn't do it, and she's an absolute superstar.
Her against the assistant coach from Cuba. They play many, many games together. One could have been the other one, so she's thinking maybe my team can do that now.
2 free throws missed by Evangelista. Maybe nerves starting to creep in a game where history could be made, and it's tied. Cuba looking for their first win here at the AmeriCup 2019. Dominican got their first victory yesterday. Galindo driving in. Shot clock expires before the foul call. Good defense there by the DR. It was clearly a foul, but the shot clock had gone off before. That's the reason why it wasn't called. So we stayed locked at 49. Zapata comes into the game for the Dominican Republic. Evangelista traveled. She took a shot on her shoulder. She's holding her left shoulder. She gives a thumbs up, says she's okay. It's actually her neck.
Her neck.
Another turnover, though, for the Dominican Republic. You can see the nerves now beginning to build on both sides. Calvo, Margot, Martinez. It's good ball movement now for Cuba. Galindo pulls up. She thought she got hit. She'll run back on defense and try to stop this break for DR. Evangelista traveled.
She had Frias open.
Yes, she did. Morton will check in for her. And Evangelista's having a discussion with the coaching staff now. As we have 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Galindo looking to go one-on-one. Calvo now looking for help. She posts Galindo inside, too big. And she'll go to the line as she dominated Frias there.
It's like you said, she can play any position. She will bring the ball down as if she were a point guard. And in that occasion, she posts like if she was a center. She's strong. She's very strong.
Frias smiling as he gets helped up from her teammate.
I did what I could.
2 shots coming up for Galindo. We haven't had a score in quite some time. That could end right here. She's filling the stat sheet. 10 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Doing a little bit of everything. And oh, by the way, she also has 2 blocks. Dominican could hold for the last shot here if they're able to get over half. Sack driving the lane. Tossed up a wild shot. Zapata has it and loses it. Cuba's defensive pressure really confusing Dominican Republic right now.
I think Dominican Republic are, dribbling the ball too much. They need to start moving the ball like they were doing. They're making the Cuba defense, easy job.
Galindo with 3 to shoot now. Galindo gets it off in time. In and out. She wanted that one. That's how we'll end the third quarter. There you see Galindo talking to Gina Cross. Her team up 2, 51-49. 10 minutes left to play. A reminder, you can join us in conversation on social media using the hashtag AmeriCup Women. There you see the third quarter stats. The free throw line hasn't been kind to either team. 64% for Cuba, 58% for the Dominican Republic, but it is a 2-point game. Galindo was terrific in that third quarter, came alive when we needed to see her most for Cuba. She didn't score at all in the first half.
That's what big players do, and you can see it in her body language. It's like another player from the one we saw in the first half to the one we're seeing now. She's going to ask for the ball, and she's going to continue attacking. So Dominican Republic needs to make that adjustment because this team goes as she goes.
On the other side, Morton had 15 big points and then hasn't scored at all.
No, they need another person. Evangelista have been trying to attack, but then Cuba's doing a good job trapping her and closing the lane. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna, score now in this last quarter.
Game started with a 13-4 burst by Cuba. That turned into a 14-0 run for the Dominican Republic. They took the lead at the end of the first quarter. Cuba battled back in the second. It was a 1-point game heading into halftime. Now have a 2-point game heading into the last 10 minutes here in San Juan.
In the case of Dominican Republic, they had to work for every shot that they made. On the other hand, Cuba has 16 points in the fast break. Those are the easiest points. You don't have to work as much in the half court.
Frias shows the up fake. Zapata. Morton for 3. Can't get that to go, and Avila pulls down a nice rebound. FIBA Women's AmeriCup here from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Cuba in the white jerseys, Dominican Republic in the blue. They are down 2 at the moment, are the DR. A foul away from the basketball. Almost was an and-one opportunity there, as the foul is, I believe, on Monsac. That's her third, if it is on her.
Yeah.
Natalia Melendez, Carlin Gay. Natalia mentioned off the top. Dominican Republic have not beaten Cuba at this level. They're looking to do so for the first time in history. And there was a point in the game where it looked like it was going to happen. Now it's been all Cuba. They have the momentum at the moment.
And as we spoke yesterday, this, Cuba and Dominican Republic, as well as Puerto Rico, it's a rivalry in baseball and it's a rivalry in basketball, even in yo-yo, in bingo, in everything.
In any sort of competition, you're absolutely right about that. Galindo in the open floor. She's come alive in the second half. 13 points for her. Frias finds herself all alone, so she'll take the lane, and she traveled. Credit Cuba's defense here in the second half.
And what was working for them, they stopped doing it. They stopped moving the ball. Whoever grabs the ball wants to attack the basket. They're not being patient, and that will make Cuba's defense easier to them.
4-point game. Avila. Over the top, Reynoso. Good defense there by Reynoso. And now she runs the floor and will look to seal. Morton penetrating. That's her first. Oh, missed the open layup. Martinez. Galindo back inside to Martinez. A kick out. Avila for three. Great ball move by Cuba, but they can't get the bucket. Morton 1-on-2. See if she waits for her teammate. She doesn't. What a crossover. Can't get the finish. Nothing falling for the Dominican right now. Morton says, slow it down. Let's run an offense. They want to go inside to Monsac, who had a nice third quarter, came alive a little bit. Here she is, sets the screen. 2 to shoot. Morton doesn't know it. Reynoso does. Left it short. Cuba will play on. Galindo flying up the court, using her body to shield. Oh, Reynoso says no. What a block by Reynoso. She's doing a good job of protecting the rim. Martinez with 5 to shoot. She won't get a shot off. That's good defense by Monsac. Mendez and Evangelista. You mentioned Evangelista tried to do a little too much on her own. Let's see if that last break helps her gather her thoughts as we have 7:35 left to play in the game.
She's trying to organize. She's trying to organize her offense now. She brings Evangelista to the game.
Jones is also in the game.
Also Jones.
And Hernandez, who's quiet but isn't afraid to shoot. We saw that yesterday.
I was just thinking of that. And she can shoot too.
Here she is on the ball. Zapata. Evangelista. Cross court, Hernandez. Puts up the shot. It's a three, banks it in!
You call it.
A big three by Hernandez brings the lead down to 1. As confident as ever. Instant offense. Now she has to guard Galindo on the other end. Galindo, Avila, nice up fake. Can't finish, but Galindo on the cleanup. She got fouled and she'll go to the line for 2. Could hardly hear the whistle with the screaming here on the floor. Zapata picks up her second personal. Doesn't matter how long Hernandez sits on the bench, she's going to come off ready to fire. You saw her knock down that last 3. Galindo at the line again. Hits her first. Filling up the stat sheet. Wow. 14, 6, and 6. Sevilla on the cleanup. Jones thought she got pushed, and that allowed Avila to pull down her 14th rebound.
Wow.
Back to a 4-point lead for Cuba. Evangelista driving inside. She's fouled. She's feeling it, and she'll go to the line for 2. It seems almost like anytime Evangelista gets the ball. She doesn't think anyone on the floor can stay in front of her.
She's a one-on-one player. She likes to play. If she sees an open court, she'll attack. If nobody's help, she's gonna finish. She's just gonna attack anybody.
Dominican Republic continue to struggle from the foul line. They're now 7 of 13 from the foul line. Angelista puts that in to keep them above 50%. Tornell into the game. Margot continues to stroke from three, 6 of 6 from three-point range.
It's a human, 6 of 6. That's amazing, 28 points for her.
We asked at the beginning of the game who's going to help Galindo score. Well, Margot's the answer. She had 20 points against Canada and dominating now with 28 in this one. Evangelista was fouled by Tornell, and that leads to a timeout on the floor.
She not only have 28 points, she have 6 rebounds and 3 steals and 1 block and 2 assists. She's everywhere.
Big time game for her. Can Cuba close it out? 6-point game. Let's listen in to the Dominican Republic huddle.
Que no reciban, llévenla para las esquinas para doblar y después ajustamos. Ahora, usted y usted. Si la bola llegó hasta aquí y ya no estamos doblando, la que esté más cerca.
Ella hace tú. Aquí a este mejor hay 2 hombres, que está ahí arriba y este da para el lado opuesto, con pantalla. Aquí hay 2 vistas más, mira. 1, 2 y 3 para el poste 3. Porque estas mujeres que están en el reloj aquí son el eje fundamental que decide que es posible. Y si coge el balón aquí, cae.
Margot red hot from 3. You can see all of her 6 3-pointers. She's done a good job there. That has led to 28 points. What was said in the huddle as we have 6:10 to play in the game?
Cuba was just organizing the offense. In the case of Dominican Republic, they're gonna press and they're gonna continue doubling in the corners.
Tornell getting the hands on the ball there and forces a jump ball. It's Cuba basketball. Possession error going that way. Defense there by Tornell. She hasn't done much in this game, but stepping on the floor and providing some positive outcome. Avila sets the screen for Tornell. Avila, that's a 2. That's way off. Well, Sack had that fall out of her hands, and it will stay on this side. 8 to shoot for Cuba. Calvo inside Avila. The jump hook is there, not able to get the roll. Everything but the basket. Evangelista. Here's Zapata. They want to go inside to Monsac. Zapata now finds Jones. Jones driving down the lane. Can't get the layup. Ball batted around, and Amargo picks it up. That's a good read by Avila, preventing the pass inside to Monsac. She doubled right away. Here's Galindo. At the foul line, pulls up. No good. Dominican getting the stops, but they can't seem
score.
to put the ball in the basket at the moment.
This fourth quarter is only 8-4. 8-4.
Evangelista going one-on-one once again. The foul is going to be on Jones, and will go the other way.
You can have as many stops as you know as you are able to, but at the end of the day, you got to score.
Hernandez coming out of the game for Morton. See the foul there by Jones. Who's going to step up offensively for the DR? It's been a lot of one-on-one basketball here in the second half. Margot, Tornell. Avila driving inside. The defense there by Jones poking out of her hands. Morton on the runway. Much needed basket there by DR. 17 for Morton.
Nice.
No one got back defensively for the Dominican Republic, and Margot gets her 30th point of the night.
It's a pretty crossover.
4:05 to play. Here's Jones. Morton. She was hot in the first half. Nice crossover on Galindo, driving in. Can't get the finish, and Amargo with another rebound. What a big night for her. Galindo. Calvo. Working on one sack. Calvo throws it up at the rim, can't get the finish. Jones is fouled by Avila, and she put her hands up right away. She knew she committed the foul. That's her third. Well, the first time we see number 10 Guerrero for Teresa Duran's bunch. Martinez, you see her right there on your screen. And Monsac will sit. So an interesting unit on the floor for the Dominican Republic, a player who has not played, Guerrero, who's on the ball right now. Look to try and spark something for the DR. Morton. Crossing over, now looking for help. Morton back on the drive, the double comes. And good defense there by Galindo. It's a shot clock violation. Cuba again shutting down the paint, not allowing any passes in the interior.
He was moving very well on defense, closing the attacks of, look, that help was perfect, and then Galindo closed the passing lane. Avila doing her thing.
Zapata will sit, and Marte comes into the game for the Dominican Republic. Still a 6-point lead for Cuba with 3 minutes to play. Galindo. Amargo pulls up, that's a two. It was blocked by Jones. Calvo saves it, 3 to shoot. Amargo for 3. Almost got it to fall. That's her first miss from long range.
When she don't make it, she scares you. Anyway, it's really close.
You see the three-point percentages on your screen. Both teams shooting really well from beyond the arc.
Yes.
Problem for the DR, they haven't been able to take shots. They've been turning the ball over here in this quarter. Struggling to find offense. Jones. Reynoso. Gives it away to Galindo. Galindo in the open floor. Reynoso trying to get back to stop it. Can't get there in time. And timeout Teresa Duran. Galindo 16-point. Gives the Dominican Republic an 8-point lead. 2:21 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Vamos a defender fuerte. Vamos a quitar la zona, digamos la personal. Vamos a la personal para que no puedan lanzar. Vamos a la personal afuera. No hay ayuda.
We saw on your screen there fast break points in favor of Cuba. Galindo adding to that total with that steal and layup. And they're 221 away from keeping Cuba's win streak alive over the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic trying to beat Cuba for the first time here at this level. They're down 8. Marte. Driving inside. What a move. Maria Marte. It's the basket they needed. Now 2 minutes to play. Can they get stops? Galindo is a closer, watched by Morton. She's been terrific here in the second half. Margot is fouled by Guerrero. And with 6 on the shot clock, we'll reset it back to 14. Cuba with plenty of time to work with.
Margot plays so calm. Like you see her, you can even feel her on the court, but she's a sniper.
She absolutely is. 6 of 7 from three-point range. Avila forcing that one up, can't get it to go. Bodies crashing together, and Zapata ahead of everybody. Did a good job to catch up to that ball. Morton back to the corner. Zapata for 3. Indeed, big time shot for Zapata, and she cuts the lead in half, down to 3. Minute 32 here to play. Morton finding Zapata, and she knocked down an ice-cold 3, leading to a Cuba timeout. 63-60, a minute 32 left in the game. Don't go anywhere.
Vamos a presionar. Tú tienes la chiquita, tú vas a tener una grande. Un chiste. Usted la flemequita. ¿Quién tiene la grande? Una 21.
What's your thoughts about those 2 huddles?
Cuba was preparing themselves. They know Dominican Republic is gonna pressure the ball, so they want to take care of the ball. On the other hand, Dominican Republic wants to make smart but fast shots.
3-point game. Big possession here for both teams. Galindo looks to go on Morton. She's fouled before the shot. It's on the ground. That's the 5th team foul. Galindo will go to the line for 2 shots to try and extend this lead. But Reynoso will check into the game for Guerrero.
Galindo is 80% from the free throw line today. 4 of 5.
She's done a little bit of everything. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks. And it's the first free throw. Big time player. And Margot is playing well in the first half, and she was red hot from 3-point range. But it wasn't until Galindo stepped up offensively that Cuba took charge. Lead is 5. Pressure shown by Cuba. And a turnover. Martinez picks it up. Dominican Republic do not have to foul, but they definitely have to defend. This is a mismatch. Martinez on Reynoso. Let's see if they try to take advantage of it. And Margot has the ball to her legs. Possession arrow is in favor of Dominican Republic. A defense there by the DR. Zapata getting on the floor there.
It was a photographic pass. Good defense from Dominican Republic. She was right there in the passing lane.
Pressure still shown. Morton shoos everybody away, and she'll come up the court with it. Under a minute to play. Morton driving. On sack for 3. Missed it. Marte with the rebound. She'll drive in with the floater and hits. Back to a 3-point game. 45 seconds left to play. Pressure shown by the DR. Martinez picks up her dribble in a dangerous area. Got away with it. Calvo with a dangerous pass to Avila.
Smart.
And now Martinez and Galindo say, let's slow it down and eat some clock. 10 on the shot clock. Again, Dominican Republic don't have to foul, but they need to stop. Galindo driving inside. They say last touched by Cuba, and it will go the other way. They get the stop they wanted. Timeout, Dominican Republic. That is their last timeout. With 25.9 seconds to play, they're down 3. Let's see what they draw up. Don't go anywhere. Here's that last play. Galindo was stripped by Zapata and it rolled off of her side. She wanted the foul call. The ball went out of bounds. Leads to DR timeout. You see Galindo, who's done everything possible to keep her team in front. And Dominican Republic have a chance to tie the game here.
They just plan how to take out the ball, you know, to make sure the point guard gets the ball, and then after that, a high screen.
If you're Coach Duran, who do you want to take the shot in this situation?
I think I want the ball to be in Morton's hands, between Morton and Evangelista, maybe.
Morton has it right now. A foul away from the basketball. It's on the hold. I believe it's on Hernandez. It is. That's her first foul. She just checked into the game just for that play. She was trying to set a screen, and the foul is called on her before they could even take a shot at the rim. Wow. Here's the replay. Look at number 1 in blue. They called the moving screen. They've been calling that consistently all game long. Here it is again. You decide at home.
Yeah. That's the
She
thing.
was never set.
You know, they call that consistently because in other, you know, occasions maybe they wouldn't call it, but because they have been calling it all the time in the tournament, you know, it was a hard call in a moment like this.
But she wasn't set. It was the correct call. Let's listen into the huddle for Cuba.
Who do you think is going to get the ball? I know you heard that.
I heard Galindo's has to take the ball and be secure with it.
And who's going to be next to her?
It'll be Amargo.
Of course.
Let's see if Cuba can execute that play. Dominican Republic got a turnover on the last possession on the jump ball. Possession arrows in favor of Cuba this time around. 22.5 to play, 14 on the shot clock. Keep in mind that. Martinez, 10 to shoot. Dominican Republic do not have to foul here. Here's Martinez spinning. Calvo won't shoot it, and the shot clock will expire. Wow. Well, no timeouts for the Dominican Republic. 8 seconds left in the game. They'll have to go the length of the floor. Hernandez checking in for Reynoso, so they're going small. Can they get a shot away here?
Calvo was not going to shoot that ball. She can shoot free throws, you know. Why would she get that pass? Things that happen.
Door open for the Dominican Republic to finally try and beat Cuba on the grand stage. Evangelista. Hernandez at the buzzer for the tie. Does not go for her. Game over. Cuba escapes with the victory. And the win streak continues. 65-62. What a battle this was. The Dominican Republic will have to wait till another time to try and beat Cuba for the first time. Wow. What a game that was. Well, if you're Cuba, that was the first win here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. They had 2 tough games, losing to host Puerto Rico on Sunday night. And they played Canada, a tough game for them. And now they get their first win.
In the case of Cuba, I think everything changed after that timeout when they said this is personal. Something got into Galindo's and her leadership, because Amargo was consistent throughout the game from the beginning till the end, but she was the only one like really trying to get something going on in offense. After that, it was Galindo's show, and between those two, it was almost impossible for Dominican Republic to stop them. It was amazing. Also, we have to mention that 2-3 zone that they presented. It was very good. They look a lot better than playing one-on-one. The rebounding, they dominated the rebounding. In the other hand, for Dominican Republic, they were moving the ball very well. And then in the second half, they just start playing one-on-one, and it wasn't working for them. We gotta talk about Morton. She did an amazing job in the second half. Of course, the adjustment through her were gonna come, and it was hard for her. But we gotta say that she had a good game.
She definitely had a good game, 17 points, 6 assists. Turnovers began to pile up on both sides, and the free throw line wasn't kind to either team. There is a top scorers right there, top 3 scores for both teams. It ended up being a 3-point game. You see in the background Paraguay stepping onto the court alongside Argentina. We'll see them play each other in a few minutes here. There's the standings in Group A. Canada topping the board. Cuba, who have played 3 games right now, they got their first win. They're sitting in second spot. The Dominican Republic suffer their first loss. The DR will play tomorrow. They'll play Puerto Rico in a big game. And Cuba will play Mexico tomorrow, looking to make it 2 in a row. We'll leave you with the highlights from this game. What a thriller it was. Cuba defeating the Dominican Republic 65-62.